Hello, welcome to the Spine Central job page. If you're an associate chiropractor and you're looking for a new position, then this is the place for you to be. So we are always looking for talented chiropractors to join our team. The only two prerequisites that we have when we're screening people for positions is, first of all, you have to be an A player. That means you have to have a strong desire to be the very best that you can be in this amazing profession of ours. Doesn't mean you have to be the very best now, but it means that you have to one day have a desire to get there. Number two is we're looking for people who want to get a head start in their career. So there's a lot of different aspects of chiropractic that need to be mastered before you get out there and go it alone. So we teach you everything from technique to clinical skills, communication and patient management, and a whole lot of other things above and beyond that. But these are the four key things that we all need to master early on in our profession. So if you truly want that head start, important to get in a place where you can learn these skills well. Now, at Spine Central, we actually have a very dynamic approach to managing our patients and delivering on the promise of chiropractic. Now, this little diagram here sums up our basic model of chiropractic care. Now, what we find is that there's a thing called the triad of health. Now, where most chiropractors focus their care is on the structural side of things. Now, structure is supremely important. If that spine is out of alignment, if the feet, if the hips, if the pelvic joints, if the cranium, if the jaw, if these things aren't properly centered where they should be, it has a tremendous impact upon your neurology and ultimately your health and your function. So these things have to be dealt with. But the triad of health here says that there's two other important sides. And if one of the sides becomes weak, guess what happens to the triangle? It collapses. Now, in my experience, most people actually have all three sides of the triangle weak. So it's no use just focusing on structure. If you do, a certain amount of people will get much better, they'll feel very good, and they will love you for it, but there's another 20 or 30% of people who won't do so well, and these people will plague you unless you learn how to deal with it. So if we take a little look at the chemical side of a triangle, there's some key things here that need to be put right. Things like blood sugar system and the amount of dysglycemia that people have. Essential fatty acid status, vitamin and mineral deficiencies. These things actually, believe it or not, really do impact upon the rest of your health. And if they're not in play, they can weaken the structure and keep creating these problems and complex, difficult patients that are difficult to get right. Emotional side of a triangle, equally important. There are skills and techniques and ways of helping people navigate the difficulties that they face emotionally. When you put these three things together, you have a very comprehensive model for helping difficult people, more complex patients, as well as helping people to get to the very highest levels of health, which is what a lot of the population want these days. They're no longer happy and satisfied with just mediocre levels of health. So it's true what you've heard in college and in the seminars that you've been to, that the nervous system is the master controller of the body. Once you've been in practice for a few years, you'll have absolutely no doubt that that is true. You have to experience it to believe it, I understand. But this nervous system is what controls the structured chemistry and motions and keeps all of these things interlinked and interplaying together. Now, if we're going to accurately assess a patient and know what to do next, we need to have a way of understanding how that nervous system is working. And that's where the manual muscle test here comes into play. And I haven't found a tool yet that is any better than muscle testing. It is a phenomenal inroads into this body, beneath the skin, to work out exactly what people need to correct their imbalances. And guess what? It's not always just structure. Very often it's chemistry and it's emotions. But with this tool, you have an amazing way of working out what needs to happen and knowing when it needs to happen. Now, this model is not yet complete because it's no good just doing certain things for the patient, giving them all these great tools and giving them all these great nutrients and advice and all the best adjustments in the world if they go away and bang their head against the wall and go away and continue to live a life that is very stressful, continuing to throw all aspects of their physiology and body out of order. So we're continually bombarded with endless amounts of stress in the modern world. Physical stress, chemical stress, emotional stress. And that's why it's so critical to educate our patients on the importance of these things and how to start to minimize them through adding in easy, simple habits to their daily routine. They're going to help them minimize these stresses and support their health and their lifestyle long term. So if that kind of model appeals to you, then this is the place for you. If you really have a true desire to deliver on the promise and help the difficult patients, as well as help people get to levels of health way beyond what they ever thought was possible, in other words, transform them inside out, then this is the place for you. So the next step, if you're interested, send me an email, please. You'll find our contact details on the website. You can give us a call as well, and we need your CV and your cover letter, and that'll allow you access into a deeper conversation with me on how we move things forward. So thank you very much for listening, and we hope to meet you soon.